Welcome to another Weekly GameDev Log. This week has been focused solely around UI design and the general art style for the game. I wanted to get a little bit more of a professional looking design for the game and one that was in my limited capabilities as an artist. I'm also changing up the style of the videos this week. I'm no longer going to do the sort of day by day approach and instead focus more on the improvements that have been made to the game. Okay, let's dive in and I'll show you what I've been working on. One of the major focuses this week has been tweaking with the menus, starting with the level select screen and the general colour scheme of the user interface. I hadn't felt happy with the look of the background image for the menu screens, so that was one of the first things that I got to working on. The background image itself was too detailed for a background, and to be honest it didn't actually look that much like a wooden table. In combination with this was the fact that there were too many colours on the screen. The buttons were an orangey brown, the background was made up of red and orange, then the HUD had purple and the text had another shade of orange as well. It was just too much and the colours didn't really complement each other either. I started looking up different colour palettes, which would mean I could take some of the guesswork out of what colours work well together. Because it turns out my colour theory isn't great, so this minimised the impact of that until I can become better at picking colours myself. While streaming all this on Twitch, I had a really awesome member of my chat who helped me choose a colour scheme for the UI. So a big shout out to I Claim This Name for helping me out with that. This was a really pleasant side effect to stream which I'd never even considered before. After tweaking and changing all the colours, I ended up on the green colour screen which you can see here. The buttons are much cleaner, in fact all the UI elements seem really simplistic, which is exactly the style I wanted. The benefit to all of this as well is that it's mostly made up of block colours, so it massively helps with my limitations as an artist. You might not have noticed, but I've also changed the fonts for the menu. It's actually all these little changes that add up and make a more professional look. Once I had the level select screen nailed, I moved on and propagated this colour scheme for all the UI across all the elements in the game. Any pop-up menus, heads-up displays, even the initial start screen. Once I had all these in place, I was really impressed with the results. Got rid of that poorly drawn restaurant image from the level as well, and replaced it with a bright blue solid colour, just like I've done with all the UI. Sometimes it is difficult to just scrap some work that you've invested time into, but you've just got to go with whatever looks the best really. After sorting out the user interfaces, I noticed that although the bright blue of the level's background looked cleaner, I think it was a little too boring. So I decided to add a little dynamic highlights to it just to make it look a bit more interactive. I did this by using a very faint white glow object that I animated across the background really slowly. The idea for this was to provide some sort of dynamic element to the level without distracting the user from the ingredients they have to slice. There were also a number of architectural changes that happened in the code this week that will allow me to become more effective at level design. Essentially, the problem was that I was randomly generating different ingredients to spawn, which gives me no control over the difficulty of the level. For example, if you got lucky, you'd get no mouldy ingredients, and vice versa. This isn't ideal for creating a game that is both challenging without being impossible. Here is a playthrough of what the game looked like at the end of the week. Although functionally there wasn't a great deal of changes this week, I have paved the way for some big changes next week and also massively improved the aesthetics of the game. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know in the comments if you prefer this sort of feature driven approach to the devlog. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel or come join me on Twitch. Bye now.